Morning Year 6, it's Monday the 8th of February and our learning objective today is to summarise information from a text. So we're continuing to work on this from last week. We looked at summarising the story of the chocolate tree. So this week we're going to be looking at summarising a different myth. And it's something we just need to continue to work on because summarising is a really hard skill to get right. It's a bit like thinking about the story of Goldilocks. And when things were too small or too cold, then things were too hot or too big, but then there was one that was just right in the middle. And it's a bit like that with summarising. So sometimes when you summarise, you might not give enough information and the person won't have a clue what's going on. If you give too much information, then they might as well have read the story themselves. So it's about finding that balance and getting it just right, giving them enough information to understand what's going on, but to not give them all the details. So we're going to work a little bit more on that today and look at some examples. So you did look at this last week, but just to remind yourselves. So when we summarise, it means we're identifying the central theme or idea. We consider what the gist of the text is, so what it's about. We pick out key events and main points. That's what you were doing in that table last week. You were picking out those key 3 points. We discard information that's not important. We're able to give an overview in a few words or sentences, and we can draw a conclusion about what's happened. Okay? So we're going to have a think back to last week and about the story about the chocolate tree, and we're just going to have a look at 2 examples. So the first one says, Kukulkan wanted to give the people some chocolate. He gave them a chocolate tree. He couldn't go to paradise anymore. Right. This is where the porridge is too cold, okay? And I don't have enough information. So I'm thinking now, why do you want to give them a chocolate tree? What have they done? Is a chocolate tree important? I don't know why. He then gives them a chocolate tree. I'm now thinking, where did he get it from? Did he dig one up? Did somebody give him it? He then can't go to paradise anymore, and I'm thinking, well, he's just done something really nice. He's given somebody a chocolate tree. So why can't he go to paradise anymore? Okay, so do we see there how you have given 3 points, but there's just not enough information there? Okay, let's look at the second example then. So Kukulkan loved the Mayan people and believed that they should be rewarded. He told the gods that they deserved a chocolate tree from paradise, but they did not agree with him. Kukulkan went against the gods' wishes and gave them a chocolate tree. This meant that he was banished from paradise. Do you see there how adding in the extra detail, it's still a short summary. There's still only 1 sentence per box, but I have given you more information. I've maybe used a conjunction to add extra information. Okay, and now I know much more. I know much more about why the Mayan people needed a chocolate tree. I know why Kukulkan, where he got the chocolate tree from. I know that it went against the gods, and I know that he wasn't allowed back to paradise. So I know a lot more from this. Okay, so really keep that in mind when you're writing your summary. Have you given enough information? So I'd like you to click this link and watch the story of the hero twins. You might want to watch it a couple of times. You might want to make some notes as you're watching, okay? Because you will then be writing a summary of the 3 main parts. So I would either watch it a couple of times or make notes or do both. That's what I'd be doing. So we're going to be using the same storyboard as last week. However, this week I've given you 4 summary points just because I think this story is a little bit more complex than the chocolate tree. So we might just need a little bit more information. So I want you to think of 4 plot points this time. Make sure in that top box you've drawn your picture. A lot of people didn't do that last week. You were writing another sentence in there. You don't need a sentence in that top box. That top box is for your picture. And then underneath it says summary sentence. That's where you need to write your sentence. Remember, try and, give those sentences a bit of detail. Use some conjunctions. We've been focusing on that in writing. and make sure it's really clear. Make sure, like we've just been talking about in the previous few slides, that summary is just right, okay? It doesn't have too little information and it doesn't give too much information, okay? Right, have a lovely day, Year 6, and I'll speak to you soon.